Okay, so I'm making this video because I wanted to talk to people about the gaming industry's no returns policy and why it's fucking bullshit. Okay, so first of all, you have no means of testing the game before you buy it. What I mean is, there is no rental places around, really, anymore. Blockbuster is going out of business. You're very unlikely to find one anywhere near you. The rental places that do exist probably don't have the most recent games, so you're not going to be able to rent them and try them out. So renting is totally, it's not a valid argument anymore. Okay, and they always use the argument that it's anti-piracy, that they don't allow you to return it because technically you could rip it and then you could play it for free on whatever thing. Okay, but first of all, in this particular scenario, that makes absolutely no sense. In other scenarios, it's still just fucking ridiculous. Okay, so in this particular scenario that I'm talking about, is with 3DS games, like this piece of shit game that was $30 and is not worth 5. So in this scenario, 3DS games can not only not be played on a 3DS. I have absolutely no idea how you would go about ripping one. You can, and there is no 3DS flash card right now that you can actually put a ROM on and play it on 3DS. It doesn't exist right now. It's impossible to pirate on 3DS. PS3, which is another console that I have, is extremely difficult to pirate for because they keep giving you firmware updates, and the from what I've read online, it's extremely hard to keep up with in order to keep your modifications intact. So I have no idea how that works because I've never tried to do it. Because I'm personally not interested in pirating games. I develop software. Well, I don't develop, but I design and whatever. But I have software on the market that people can buy. So I would rather than not pirate that. So it would be very hypocritical of me to go and pirate something else. So piracy is extremely difficult right now on consoles. So it's not a good argument, okay? Another reason why is that if I wanted to pirate something, wouldn't I just go rent it for $5 instead of buying it for $45? Now, I understand that I said that rental is not really a valid argument anymore, but the rental option has been available for a while, and this law of no returns on games has been on for a while. So going back, I mean, it still makes sense. But yeah, this game is a piece of shit. And had I known that, I definitely would not have bought it in the first place. But when the reviews say things like, "Oh, the controls are awkward" or whatever, controls are different for everybody. So you will never know if the controls are really awkward for you unless you've actually played the game. So I figured I would buy the game because it's by Ubisoft. Ubisoft is a good developer. I've played a lot of games of theirs in the past, and I really like them. So I bought this game, and it's fucking terrible, okay? It's just a horrible port of an old game, a really, really old game that's like 10 years old now, okay? I also bought Ocarina of Time 3D. That is a fucking awesome port, and I was never even a fan of Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time 3D is an amazing port. They enhanced the sound, they enhanced the visual experience, they enhanced everything, and they made it better on the 3DS than it was in the 64. They gave you this dynamic menu that allows you to use more items at a time. You can more easily switch through your items, you can do all kinds of things, you can view the map more clearly. It's just so much better than it was in the N64. This is probably even worse than it was originally, and I never played it before, so I had no idea what the game was about. I bought it because, like I said, it's by Ubisoft. I trusted them. Never buying a Ubisoft game again because this is a piece of shit. And you can't return games. It makes absolutely no sense. They should not assume that you're going to rip something or whatever when they have no reason to believe that. They should not assume that. They should assume that you are innocent because isn't there something called like innocent until proven guilty? Like it doesn't make sense to assume that your customers are guilty. Does that make sense? No, it really doesn't make sense. Also, I just wanted to add that if you actually buy a game on the iPhone or iPod Touch or iPad, you can actually return those. Believe it or not, if you don't like one of those games, you can get your money back. And that's another reason why this makes absolutely no fucking sense. This is a physical game that I can only play if I put it into the 3DS. On an iPhone, I can go buy an app, and then if I wanted to get my money back for it, I could get my money back by emailing them, and then they'll email me back, they'll refund the transaction, everything, but the game is actually still on my iPhone, so if I wanted to, I could still play it, but I've already got my money back for it. So that's and Apple is not being ridiculous and greedy about it. And those titles cost a lot less too. You can actually buy Rayman on the iPhone for I think $4.99 or $5.99 or something, and it's $30 in the 3DS. That's absurd, and you can return the $5 game that is a digital copy, but you can't return a physical copy of a game that you cannot pirate right now, which costs $30. That is absurd. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. If you want to comment, feel free to do so.